All right, party people. Today we'll be talking about attire in the workplace. So, first, we'll do a quick rundown on the history of dress codes and then talk about different categories of dress codes and what benefits and downsides each one have.
So, the idea of dress codes have also been a consistent topic of controversy, with many people arguing over what should and shouldn't be allowed in the workplace for dress codes. And they first started to appear around the 17th century and have only evolved since then. The evolution of dress codes include many different categories such as casual, business casual, and even formal.
Hey guys, my name is Anna, and I will be talking about casual wear and if it is acceptable or not in the workplace. What do you guys think?
So I would definitely say it depends on the type of job somebody has and whatever the employer asks of the employee.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. But based off research, what did you find? Did you see if it was whether it was more acceptable or unacceptable?
Yeah, so I've concluded that casual wear is acceptable for certain different job types, like construction, factory workers, and depending on retail. Also depending on the businesses and stuff like that. Some benefits that I found from a website called 4 Advantages of Casual Wear in the office is that it creates more of a relaxed environment, creates less strain on finances, and your employees are able to express themselves better.
Okay, so I can definitely agree with that. But what are some disadvantages of allowing employees to express themselves?
Personally, I think there's probably a lot of disadvantages of allowing them to express themselves freely, but I am curious to see what some examples of this could be.
So some disadvantages that I found in the workplace is that it can be distracting to others. I think that being casual for a job like real estate and wearing sweats and that kind of stuff is not acceptable, because you could be giving off the wrong impression to people that you work with and also your customers as well. Mm-hmm. Another thing that casual wear is not acceptable is when you're interviewing for a job. I found some information from an article called The Ultimate Guide to Workplace Dress Codes, and they said that in an interview, when you're wearing casual clothes, you might seem not serious about the job that you're interviewing for, and it could put off a wrong image to that person that you're interviewing with.
Mm-hmm. Right. Those are all great points. So
Mm-hmm.
I also have some of the same concerns with business casual wear, which I'll get into. Not being completely professional in a business can give off wrong impression for both clients and other potential employees that might want to come and work for your business. But it also may cause employees already working there to get comfortable, especially in summer weather where things get a little bit warmer and people start to feel a little bit more comfortable wearing shorts and flip-flops. That's definitely not acceptable in a lot of businesses. I found that information from an article called Pros and Cons of a Work Dress Code, but I focused more on the cons with that one.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think that being completely professional could get off the wrong impression to others, but also being too casual could give off the wrong impression as well, because then you're too comfortable and I don't know.
Right. There's still a level of professionalism that you need to portray.
So
business casual, I'm Olivia, and I'm focused on the business casual attire in the business. It's a lot more frequent in industries now to implement a more comfortable place for employees in the workplace. From what is business casual policy on the website Business News Daily, it found that 88% of businesses allowed casual wear at least one day a week. I feel typically that's Friday because the weekend is starting. And 50% allowed it every day, but some studies have shown that it can increase work performance since they're not in a professional office attire and they're not uncomfortable in suits and tight clothing and anything like that. But it also is less expensive for individuals to purchase more business casual clothing, which is beneficial for an individual.
yeah, that's kind of crazy that 88% of businesses do a casual wear day.
Yeah, I know. I always figured, some businesses did it, but, 88%, that's, a pretty big chunk, which is kind of unbelievable.
Right.
But, yeah.
I think it's just like a lot of jobs have like started implementing it. Like you see a lot of, and I'll get back into that too, but like marketing firms during like Meet the Industry, if you guys went to that, a lot of them were like more business casual attire just because it was probably like more comfortable, more inviting for like students to come and talk to them. But like marketing firms and stuff, like you think of like marketers as professionals, but they're constantly like coming up with new ideas. They have to be in a comfortable work environment, you know. So a lot of talent can be drawn to your company if business casual is promoted, since it does offer a less stressful work environment. However, it also helps to guide others into knowing what the culture and ambiance of the workplace is like. Over long periods of time, people remain more satisfied in their jobs because employees are able to wear what is more comfortable for them. And I did find this in the article, 6 benefits of adopting a casual dress code for your company.
That does make a lot of sense. I know like that in my job in the future, hopefully it has casual work days or like at least a day designated for casual wear, because that'd be awesome and just a lot more comfortable, like way better.
Mm-hmm. So, like, a lot of the bonuses in implementing business casual for the business itself include, like, building trust between employees and their higher-ups, as well as, like, increasing mutual respect, which I think is definitely, like a big thing these days, especially, like, in school. Like, we've noticed a lot more professors ask us to call them by, like, just their last name or their first name without having, like, doctor or professor in front of them, just to kind of, like, gain that respect between student and professor. But it also aids in eliminating stereotypes and emphasizing diversity and or representation of ethnicities and cultures, which I think is really awesome.
I think that you can also express yourself when you are wearing business casual because you are still picking what you want to wear.
Right, so like if you don't know where to start when it comes down to business casual, a lot of men typically wear like sports coats or blazers. Collared shirts is a big one, and button-down shirts. And then casual slacks or khakis are acceptable with a belt. Dress shoes and loafers or like nice boots with socks, which I hope is self-explanatory, but is common for men. But women have a lot more options. So like with collared or non-collared blouses, they can wear dresses or skirts, but the skirts have to be appropriate, so like at or below the knee. They are also offering slacks as well, which was not did not used to be. For like shoes, they can wear heels, dress boots, flats, and then like to keep it simple, they want like modest or simple jewelry, so it's not like super distracting or anything.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how many like combinations you can make with your clothing, as well as like I think it's fun to come up with like cute outfits and stuff. I don't know. Like as a girl, I don't know, do you, like guys?
I would say we don't care like so much about like what it looks like or like looks like together, as more just like this feels comfortable and I like this. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's like business casual.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's like nice for like business casual for girls because it's just like it's not something super uncomfortable. You can still find something that you're comfortable in. You know?
Yeah.
Like, but of course, there's like a fine line between considering what's inappropriate and appropriate. So like when you're looking for business casual wear, like avoid jeans and tank tops and cold shoulder tops or low cut tops, a lot of tops. Ripped or frayed clothing, so like ripped jeans, not acceptable. Shorts, sandals, and like louder bulky jewelry or accessories are often a no-go.
Yeah, because you do have to make sure you're still dressing appropriately, even though you are allowed like this casual freedom. But yeah, that was a great list of examples for like things that are considered inappropriate.
So just like a couple of jobs that you can commonly find business casual attire in would be, like I've said before, marketing firms, and then beautician salons are more business casual because they still have to maintain a look. So when you go into like a hair salon or spas or even a nail salon, they often are still dressed in like slacks and blouses. Receptionists, unless said otherwise, because like if you're working in an accounting firm or a little bit more of a prestigious job, you're probably at a business professional attire level. Sales, college professors, I feel like usually have a pretty business casual attire. dress code, and then managers in retail.
Yeah, awesome job kind of discussing about business casual. And I'm Troy, and we're going to round out this podcast by discussing the final category of the night, and that is formal and professional wear in the workplace.
Woohoo! Get it, Troy.
Alrighty, so we're going to start off with the history of professional wear. So this kind of started around the 17th century, but really gained traction in the early 20th century with the development of ready-to-wear, buy-off-the-rack suits. So these started to replace the more formal frock coat, which paved the way for modern interpretation that is seen across the world today. And I found this information from the article Evolution of Business Attire, What Can HR Leaders Learn from Spark.com.
Yeah, it's really crazy how popular suits are still, and they're still modern to this day.
Oh, for sure. They kind of just stood the test of time,
Yeah.
because they've been around for a long, long time.
Yeah.
But, on the other hand, you have women's workplace attire, and this begins very formal the 19th century. Think button up to the neck coverage all the way to the ankles, kind of like what Olivia was discussing about how
I thought you was gonna say what I was wearing.
No. Just what you kind of discussed in the business casual about skirts, how and they can actually wear slacks now, which they couldn't do back in the day. But however, the formality decreased and evolved with society's overall changing style for women's attire, which now has casual blouses, shorter hemlines for skirts, and even pants.
So how have these clothing changes helped with the work environment?
So I'd say common pros of the professional attire include boosting team spirit and professionalism among coworkers. Because if you have everyone dressing nice, usually that tends to boost the confidence levels, which I'll talk about now. So basically it boosts confidence for the workers by making them look more professional, look like they own it, do their job. It just kind of psychologically boosts their confidence just by wearing something. And it also helps save time on deciding what to wear for work. If you have kind of a designated uniform, you don't have to look in the closet for hours in the morning oh, what am I gonna wear? It's kind of where this category of clothes, which really cuts down the time for choosing that, so which is very nice.
Yeah, I definitely think that it can build your confidence. But also I feel it can also hurt your confidence as well as you know what I mean? You're just not feeling confident in it, or you're just having an off day and it just ruins your emotions, and I don't know.
Oh, for sure. Because you have the other side of the argument, which is some cons towards professional attire. And this could be, the basic one is it could be too uncomfortable for some people to wear, which is definitely a thing I think most people see. People feel uncomfortable wearing a bunch of layers of clothes. Say if they have a shirt, button-up shirt, jacket for suit attire, that could be a lot of layers. Some people get hot very easily, so that could be uncomfortable for them. Uniformity could also be seen as boring and dull. So if everyone's wearing suits or professional attire at the workplace that's very similar, it could be just seen as kind of not dreadful, because that's a powerful word, but just kind of oh, great, we're doing this, nothing exciting. And so yeah, having uniforms can also kill creativity among employees, if they're not allowed to freely express themselves, as we previously talked about. So I kind of found examples of these different points from the pros and cons of workplace dress codes on startupguys.net.
Okay, yeah. What's your guys' favorite out of all three of them, you would say?
I'd say definitely casual, because I haven't had I guess...
in a workplace.
Workplace?
Yeah.
On the regular app.
I'd say it's probably still casual, because I've been a lifeguard and I've had pretty casual jobs, so it's
no top.
Yeah. Well.
Oh
no.
my god. I would say business casual for me.
Yeah.
Just because I've just started I just joined a business fraternity, and so you have to uphold a level of professionalism.
Yeah.
But I was able to go out and find kind of what I was comfortable with in business casual attire, but still it was really cute, and I don't feel uncomfortable in it. I got to find what was more comfortable for me, what worked for me, and then but it still holds that kind of feel good that business professional can have. It builds your confidence, because I'm usually in sweatpants or something and a comfortable shirt, so dressing up a little bit just makes me feel a little better.
Sure.
But
yeah, I would definitely say business casual, just because I've worked in an office and stuff, and where it's comfortable but also it looks professional at the same time ish. But yeah.
All right, guys, that's going to wrap up the podcast for today. Thank you guys all for listening, and have a good night.